Hello again. If you've been following along, you'll have uploaded your book to a couple of websites at least, and this is my website with my books on it. If I open one of these up, you can see at the moment it's available from Amazon, Apple and Google. So Amazon was nice and easy, go through KDP. I think everybody's done that before, and I've already shown you in other videos and you'll see them linked up here somewhere. Apple Store and Google Play. But there's lots and lots and lots of other stores. Now I'm happy enough to go to these directly and do what I need to do, but at some point that becomes a bit of a chore. The majority of your sales are going to come through these stores. You're not going to want to go to every store on earth, so why not have someone else do it for you? And that someone else could be Draft2Digital. And I'm not affiliated with them, they're not sponsoring me, I use them, but that's all. They're not paying for this. But I do think they're one of the very best ways to get your book into as many digital stores, ebook stores, as possible. As they say, writing is your dream, we make publishing your reality. So they provide various services. The first one is formatting. Now, you might already have an ebook formatted, you might have it as an EPUB, you might already have a paperback published or formatted. But if you don't, this is a really good way to do it. They have templates that you can use. Various different styles, so you can choose mysteries, romance, sci-fi, all these sorts of things. Basically you upload a Word document and press a button and it gives you a formatted EPUB. And the best of it is you don't have to use it on their site. They actually say here, you don't even have to distribute your books via Draft2Digital to use these templates. The ebooks you produce are yours to use anywhere and any way you like. So what a lot of authors will do is write their book, stick it into Word, upload it to this website, format it, download it, and then push that out to Amazon. And that's absolutely fine to do. Now obviously they prefer if you use their site to do it, because then they will take a cut of your sales. But it is not required, they will never complain, and it's all absolutely fine. So yeah, for that alone, if you're having trouble formatting a book, give this a lot a look. They're well worth it. That being said, they will also publish. They will go wide. Now, when we say go wide, we mean more than just Amazon, or more than just a couple of stores. Where I am at the moment, I'm on 3 stores, I want to go further. So that's what I'm going to be using Draft2Digital for. So, as long as you're not in an exclusive arrangement, and the only real way you're likely to be in an exclusive arrangement is if you've gone into Kindle Unlimited, or KDP Select as it's called for authors. Kindle Unlimited is what the readers see, KDP Select is what you see. As long as you're not in that, then you can put your ebook everywhere. And by everywhere, you can have a look at their list of partners here on their website. Now at the top of here they've got some different resources, but if we nip down to storefronts, you can actually publish to Amazon via Draft2Digital. You can do everything through Draft2Digital. Finish your book, upload it here, and tell them to sell it all over the world, and they will happily do that for you. Now, it's usually worth going directly to Amazon, and possibly even to Apple Books, just so you've got more control over pricing, special offers, advertising, things like that. But it's not required. If you feel like it's worth doing it through Draft2Digital, they will let you do it. They will also do Barnes & Noble, particularly the Nook side of things, the ebook side of things. I'm not going to talk about print books with Draft2Digital. As the name suggests, they're focused on digital books. Now they can do print books, but I'm using a different service for that, which I'll talk about in another video. But for now, getting the ebook out there is probably the best bet, so we're going to focus on that here. So anyone who's got a Nook device, or the Nook app, Samsung Galaxy Tab, Nook tablets and all sorts of things, Kobo, another big retailer, based out of Toronto, but now owned by a Japanese company, Rakuten. Everand used to be called Scribd, again another huge bookstore. They're focusing more on the subscription side of things, but it's not an exclusive thing like Kindle Unlimited. Smashwords, again another big store, now been bought out actually by Draft2Digital, so they're very closely integrated, which is nice. Tolino is a shared ebook platform for 5 German retailers, so if you want access to the German market, the book doesn't have to be in German, though obviously the market there will predominantly be German speakers. Overdrive, this is a big one. These are the guys who basically run all the library lending in the US, I believe, or certainly the majority of it, 38,000 library schools and retailers worldwide. So if you want to get your books into libraries, your ebooks into libraries, Overdrive is probably going to be the way to go. And if it's not Overdrive, it's going to be Cloud Library. These are the ones who do my local library. I think they do most of the ones in the UK. And it says 500 libraries in 20 countries. So again, this is allowing people to borrow your ebook. And then we get down to some of the possibly not smaller but less well-known ones. Baker and Taylor, for example, BorrowBox, Hoopla, and there's a few others down here, which are less well-known. And again, it may not be worth your effort to go to these individually, but with a click of a button you can at least make the book available. If somebody happens to be looking for it there, then hey, that's a sale you wouldn't have otherwise got. Now Gardeners is much more about hardback or paperback books. If you want to get into Waterstones, W.H. Smith's, pretty much any bookseller in the UK will go through Gardeners. So if you want a physical book in a bookshop, Gardeners is the way to go. But again, we're focusing on ebooks today, so I'm not going to go into that too much more. There are other ways to get through to this listing, and we'll look at those in another video. And there's another recent one here, featuring millions of titles. Draft2Digital is the only way to get into this store. So you have lots and lots of partners that you are now able to get to. What else can you do? You can promote your book. Now, don't get too excited. They're not going to start running ads for you. But they'll let you set up a website, or a landing page at least, with your books on, and a little bit of information about you. But one of the main things that they will do is, if you look up here, we've got books to read. Now, this is a linking site. So what you will do is paste a link into your book, so it might be your Amazon page for your book, and they will go around and search every bookstore they can find and add that link and set you up a page. So for example, these are mine, Jacob's War, one of my books. I've got a custom link name, so it's nice and easy to remember, books to read / Jacob's War. So I give that to any reader or any potential reader and say, here, this will take you to your favourite bookstore. You can see it's got a list of all the different ones that it's found here. So if I click on Jacob's War, it takes me to this. This is what the end user will see. So if you give this link out, if you put it on a business card or a bookmark, or you just stick it on your social media, this is where they'll come to. So they can choose all books, ebooks, print books, and they can pick a store. So wherever they want to buy from, it's right there. You don't have to worry about, oh, would you prefer it from the Apple store? Okay, let me look up the link for that. Don't need to do it. Just give them this one link. It'll take them to their favourite store. You've also got paperbacks and hardcovers in this case, but again, ebooks, you can pick and choose. So if I go to Kindle, for example, as you probably know, Amazon has a store in every country, or nearly every country these days. So if I'm putting a thing up on social media, I don't want to have to say, well, if you're in the US, click this link. If you're in the UK, click that link. And if you're in Canada, you need this one. Oh, I forgot Australia. We just hit Kindle. And again, the user gets the choice to say, I always want to go to Amazon, or whichever store they pick. If they always buy their books from a certain place, they can skip this step and it'll just take them straight there. I'm going to leave it for now. But if I hit continue, it'll take me to the Kindle store, and there's my book. And it's taken me to the UK website as well, because I'm in the UK. If I were in the US, it would take me to the US website, and so on and so forth. Incidentally, feel free to check this book out. So that's what you can do with Draft2Digital. And the next question, of course, is, what does all of this cost? Well, nothing. At least nothing up front. They have no upfront charges for anything. Formatting, conversion, distribution, sales tracking. What they will do is take 10% of the list price of your book. So this is actually pretty good. It's up to you to decide if it's worth it to you or not, but there's no setup fees. Some sites used to charge you $50 to list a book, so that you then had to pay up front for them to even bother putting it into their store. Other places will want a monthly subscription from you to sell your books. They don't do any of that. They just take a cut of each book you sell. So if you don't sell anything for a month or 2 months, maybe you're just getting set up, it doesn't cost you anything. So they'll take 10% of the list price. So if you're selling a book for $4.99, they'll take 49 cents or pence, depending on the units. Now, the stores themselves will still take a cut, like Amazon, for example, takes 30%. Draft2Digital will take 10%, so you keep about 60% of the list price of your ebook. So bear that in mind when you're setting your pricing. You have to give a chunk of it away. So this 10% is basically the cost of going through Draft2Digital. So for me, most of my sales are on Amazon. It's not worth me giving 10% of my money to Draft2Digital to avoid having to go through the KDP service. I'm happy to go through KDP. It doesn't take very long, and I will keep more of the money and more of the control. However, to get it into overdrive or something like that, it's not worth my time and effort to spend as long as it takes to get set up on there and organise all that, compared to giving them a small cut. Up to you to decide where that break-even point is for you. And obviously, each store has policies, there are taxes. They'll do their best to guide you through, but they're not going to surprise you. They'll take their little cut. So, what do you need? Nothing. It's free. You need a name and an email address. Now, we will keep the name on your account separate from any pen names. Now, I know a lot of authors use a pen name, either for anonymity or for writing for different groups. You must sign up with your real name, because otherwise they can't pay you. They need to pay a real person, so you have to sign up with your real name. That being said, that real name won't appear anywhere. Only the pen names will. Now, in my case, it's the same, so it doesn't matter to me, but I know this is important to some people. So you can sign up with your real name, get paid real money, but no one knows. You still use your pen names. And then they start talking about what they can do about publishing, uploading Word documents, EPUBs, things like that. So this comes back to the formatting. You can upload in doc or docx format, or even rich text, open text, plain text files, or even an EPUB. They will happily accept an EPUB file for an ebook. So if you've already got a format that you like, you can use it. Not a problem. And they will take PDFs for print. Again, we're not talking print today, but that is an option. You don't have to go through their conversion tool. It's a useful tool, it's a good tool, but you don't have to use it. If you've already got a method that works for you, that's great. And they don't really have a style guide. It's up to you what you put out there. So hopefully that's given you an introduction to what Draft2Digital is and why you might wish to use it. Formatting your books, publishing them, promoting them, and then keeping track of sales. It's up to you to decide if this is worth your time or not, but for me, I think it is worth it for the smaller websites. It saves you a lot of time, and you just give up a small amount of money in return. For the bigger sites where you think you're going to make most of your money, I would still argue it's best for you to do that yourself, take it under control, but you might be really short on time, in which case going to one website, uploading everything once, and just letting it out into the world may well be the most useful way of doing this. Alright, well, in the next video I'm going to go through actually using Draft2Digital, uploading one of my books, getting it out to the world, setting up books to read links, all that kind of stuff. If you subscribe, you won't miss that. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, click the little button down there, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Alright, bye for now.